this thing working? Hi everyone. We are live. I'm gonna, per usual, wait a couple minutes. But in the meantime, I'll tell you, I am like so exhausted. I'm in like sweatpants. I went live at noon, which was really fun with Gonzo, the founder of Everlast, which is a company I've been working with. They're a healthcare startup, basically disrupting the healthcare space. You work with a health coach. I'm working on something really fun, a really fun gut health program with them. So we were talking about that a bit and just sharing Everlast, and I think it's really important to meet, for everyone to meet Gonzo. So I just wanted to let everyone have that opportunity, and just let people know about the partnership. That's not what this is about. I just wanted now I'm just rambling. I basically am doing that. I'm prepping for some clients that I'm going to cook for this week. I have so much going on, and I know you do too. So that is why this is important. This is one thing I can't miss, is prepping my own meals. This is something that I prioritize. And even amongst the chaos, it's like you can carve out these 45 minutes to truly just prep some stuff so that you're able to nourish yourself and keep your body going, keep yourself going, keep your mind right. It's all intertwined. A couple of things, I guess, because it's already 3:02, so I'll just jump into some things. One thing is we are not going to make like the cauliflower rice together. It's really just sauteing what was in the recipes. I always just want to share the things that might be slightly more complex so you can see what things are supposed to look like. Sauteing cauliflower rice to me doesn't totally fit into that category, so that's something we're not going to do. I also don't have harissa, but if you do and you've never tried it, I'm excited for you because that's one of my favorite flavors. I just simply don't have it, but I have tahini, and so obviously, I mean, if you've been here long enough or you've been with me long enough on Instagram, you know I have tahini. So that's always a yummy thing anyways. So it's no problem if you don't have that. Green goddess dressing, the last thing, I think. I'm not making that today because we made that 2 weeks ago. So if you need a little tutorial step by step, you know where to find the recording. It is always in our shared Google Drive. If you don't have access to that drive because you don't have a Gmail account, hit me up, email me, DM me, whatever, and I will send that over to you, that recording. And yeah, I mean, and also on YouTube, if you have the YouTube link, you can access all of the previous sessions that we have. So you actually don't even need Google Drive access. So those are things that I'm not doing today. But what we are doing are some of the yummiest things ever. Some of them are actually combined meals, if you know, meals. So one thing is the Firecracker Salmon Bowl, which is so yummy, and it's like one of my greatest hits, I'll call it. We marinated some salmon, and we're gonna throw it into a bowl with the cauliflower rice. You could also use quinoa or rice, up to you. I pickled some cucumber as per our prep checklist. And then we're also going to make crispy chickpea and herby green goddess salad. Perfect. It's like the perfect like sort of wintry salad to have, with the massaged kale and everything. Then we're going to make some grilled eggplant and zucchini wraps. I love a wrap. I also defrosted. I'm currently like defrosting. I got to check on these things. These sprouted corn tortillas that I have. And I actually love using them in a wrap. It's the same brand that I kind of noted in our ingredient list, and it's Food for Life, or Food for Baking, whatever it's called. Really, really good. It's a sprouted corn tortilla. Sprouted means you're able to digest it better. It will. There's those pre-digested enzymes. We love sprouted, especially with corn. So that's delicious, and I'm going to be using that. I really pray that it's defrosted, but if not, I'll have it for dinner. And then we're also, last but not least, making Za'atar Chicken with Herby Quinoa and charred lemon. It's an all-in-one pan, the easiest thing ever, and these flavors are bomb. So, what are we doing first? We're going to roast chickpeas for the salad. I do that anyways in my prep for my clients, especially a salad is meant to be cold. So, I want to do that first so that it cools down, and then we could throw them in the salad. I'm talking so quickly, I can't even keep up with myself. Okay, let's do it. First things first, lined parchment paper. We also already, move all this. We also already, preheated our oven to 400. So did that. I'm doing just like some chickpeas here. I know I said a certain amount, but really not a big deal. Throw some chickpeas in the parchment paper or the parchment lined sheet with a little bit of olive oil. And I said a tablespoon. I'm going to use a little less because I'm not using so many chickpeas. Some sumac, like half a teaspoon. I'm eyeballing. Sumac is one of my favorite things. If you like fattoush salad, you've definitely had sumac. It's like a zesty, sort of bold flavor. It's delicious. I love, love, love sumac. And then some sea salt. And then I don't need anything. I'm just going to go shake, shake, shake. And then I know I wrote to roast them for like 20 to 25 minutes, but I want you to check them, and that's why it's important to tune into these lives. I want you to check them at 10 minutes. Just see where they're at, crispiness-wise. Every oven's different. Check them at 10 minutes, check them at 15 minutes. It's kind of important to check them in those increments, but I'm going to throw them in now. Okay, chickpeas are on, and I don't have a moderator today, but that's okay. So I'm going to do what I taught myself to do. And that is the clock on my computer. Get 10 minutes going. Okay, cool. So the next thing we are going to do is we're going to sear and roast the Za'atar chicken. Like I said, where is it? Here we go. So we already marinated it in the prep checklist. Now what we're going to do is we are going to heat them in the skillet, and then we are going to roast it in the oven to totally finish it. Chicken is chicken, so I like to do both. So let's do it. Okay. Over here. Moving this. You can see I made beets earlier. Put this here. So first things first, I'm going to heat this up. Oops, wrong one. And then heating the skillet up. I'm going to put a very light amount of some avocado oil on here. You can also, let's turn this light on. You can also use olive oil, not a big deal. I just literally have this right at hand. So I'm just heating this up. And then we're also going to add in our lemon for a charred lemon, which I love. You can skip it if you don't, but I love it. And some red onion, and then some tomatoes. Just round out the flavor, make it super bold. I love the Za'atar with all these flavors. Is like to die. Even in your wrap, because we're using, it's a very Za'atar like heavy prep today. So even if you, if you in your wrap want to add some tomatoes, go ahead. I know some people don't love that because of the wetness, but or they think it's going to be too wet for them. But I put a tomato anywhere I can. So we are going. This is heating up. I got really thin chicken cutlets. Throw this in. Throw this out. Sorry. And let's get I have so many tools here, but let's find somewhere. Once I rearrange, I hope nobody saw the drawer. I'm gonna just get this going here. There we go, nice. We'll heat this up for 4 minutes on each side, just so they, each piece gets like a nice sear going. It smells really good. I'm vegan, you guys, but nobody has to nobody has to be, you don't have to be non-vegan to appreciate the taste. You can be vegan. That is okay. Or the taste. Sorry, the smell. Okay, I'm gonna add this in. I'm gonna add in the lemon and the onion just so they all, and the tomato, so everything gets nicely cooked. Oh, a couple of rogue onions here. This over here. Grab a little bowl. Okay. I'm adding in a tiny bit of olive oil. I know I did avocado, but who cares? I just want the onion and the lemon to get their flavor, or sorry, to get their charred olive oil joy. The tomato, so yummy. I used to make this for this one client of mine who, like, this was like her favorite thing ever. And I don't know why. I mean, this is like our sixth session maybe. I think it's our sixth. Huge. But maybe it's our seventh. Anyway, who cares? I don't know why I haven't added it earlier, but it was her favorite thing on the planet. And she, not naming names at all, but she was an actress prepping for a role. And, like, she was absolutely obsessed with this. And, I mean, I don't know, I feel like it's a full circle moment that I get to share it with everybody. Not a name, but but this dish, that is an NDA related issue. But very lean, very nice, very light, flavorful, tangy, all things that we love. A little bit of nuttiness from the za'atar. We love that. So this is cooking here. And then once we are done kind of just searing these pieces on both sides for like 4 minutes each, we're gonna put it in the oven for like 12 minutes. Check the thickness of your chicken. Again, like I said, these are really thin, so I'm gonna actually just turn it over now. And just make sure that, you know, it's fully cooked. Keep adding in increments of like 5 if it's a thicker piece of chicken. But this is a thin, these are too thin, guys. I'm gonna let that keep going. And while that's cooking, the very next thing we are going to do this. The very next thing we will do is also roast our firecracker salmon. So I already said, you know, to put it, or I said before to in our prep checklist to marinate the salmon. Salmon is one of those things that really doesn't need, like, you don't have to overnight marinate it. It's really like a day of maybe for 15 minutes before situation, especially, not in this case, but especially if you're using a citrus of sorts. The citrus, and with seafood, with almost every protein, but especially seafood of any sort, it will start to cook the fish, the whatever. It will start to cook that already. So, and it can get like a weird, funky sort of taste. It's not a good idea. Just marinate like 15 minutes before if you're using fish of any sort. I'm taking this out for a moment so that it can come somewhat to room temperature. But I think, honestly, these are so thin. I'm just gonna transfer this to the oven for 12 minutes. Oh, keep the chicken. And it's juicy already too. You can see it's like the juices are there, so I don't want to dry this out. Just throwing this in here. And then I'm just gonna do a little dump situation. So, there we go, nice. That'll roast for the 12 minutes. Get these going, yeah. It'll roast for 12 minutes. Okay. Nice, there we go. Put this in the oven. Next thing, oh, you know what? move that. I'll place this here because I'm going to show you how to put salmon on a piece of lined parchment paper. But not before I set yet another timer. Let's go back for the 12 minutes. I really miss my moderator so much. You are missed, moderator. Okay, that's in. So now that we have that in, we can put our salmon, you cook as many pieces as you want. You can cube it up if you want to do like a serious bowl situation. You can have, you can serve it with some nori, a la Emily Mariko. You could do one of those little bowls. I think that's like the most genius thing, and I love a nori wrap. We did that one time, like I think, what did we do that, like 1 or 2 weeks ago? Feel free to correct me in the comments. If anyone wants to comment, let me know. I can be corrected. So basically we will be cooking this skin side down. Yeah, good. You can see it. Wonderful. Skin side down. And this will also be cooking for like 10 or 12 minutes. Salmon takes like no time to cook. So this will be also 12 minutes. 10 or 12 minutes. I'll check on it when I check on the chicken. And then the next thing's next. We are going to make our quinoa. So as mentioned, I already rinsed and it's been drying this quinoa. We are just using a cup, or about a cup, I guess, of the quinoa. So I will put this in here. And then turning on the oven will be helpful, or the stove. And then we're gonna add in a 1/2 cup of coconut milk. This is gonna go so nicely with the chicken. And then we are also gonna add in a tablespoon of miso. Oh, and guess what? One of my timers is going off. So thank God I looked, like, the heck. For the chickpeas, let's see. Are you crispy? Not yet. You can see they're not crispy yet. So I'm gonna stick them in for another. I'm gonna check on them when I check on everything else. I'll just overwhelm myself. It's my favorite thing to do today. Okay, so we did this. We're gonna put in 1 tablespoon of miso in here. Okay, nice. And miso is, because it's a fermented food, it's something that I like must immediately put back in the fridge. It's not meant to be sitting out here. And then I'm gonna just get the miso chunks out and make sure everything's all nicely mixed up here. I'm getting this nice and toasted. So that I can add in a 1/2 cup of water, which I will do now. So now it's all mixed. And the beauty of miso is also that it's salty. Miso is very salty, so you don't need to add any salt into this after. I mean, even if you're serving it with the chicken, and if you are taking bites together, just be conscious of the salt. It can be quite overwhelming if you're doing all the salts. It sounded so bad. Okay. So we're gonna let this go. Once this boils, we will put the top on, cook as normal, but this is like what I'm talking about when I've mentioned before. The best way to amp up your grains is to cook them in a broth, cook them in coconut milk, cook them in some herbs, put some miso in, put any of that kind of stuff in, put some spices in, it really just takes everything up a notch and enhances the flavor. It's something restaurants do all the time. That's why you probably wonder why some certain things taste better in restaurants. It's because they do stuff like this. So this is already boiling. Put it in 15-minute timer. I'm going to turn this down to a simmer. We're going to do a timer yet again. The other timer is going for 7 more minutes. So we've got 15 minutes here. If I notice that it's already cooking like a lot, because sometimes like quinoa is like one of those grains that cooks kind of quickly, like brown rice or something, like it's just more of it, it's a drier grain. I will check on it if it's fluffy, which it generally is already, like at 10 minutes rather than 15. If it already is, I'll just remove it. It's not a big deal if you don't exactly follow packaging. That's something I want to get everyone really comfortable with too, is just like intuitively understanding food and like when your food's ready and stuff like this, because you know, sometimes you don't realize the packaging isn't always right. Best thing is to follow it, but sometimes your gut is always right, as has been the theme of my past 2 weeks. So, okay, we've got everything else going here. I chopped up the zucchini, the eggplant. I used Japanese eggplant. I used Asian eggplant. I don't know why, I've just been loving it more. If you see my molten, we also did make it here, but my molten eggplant bake is, I use this type versus an Italian eggplant, which is just, you know, your traditional sort of, what you traditionally see in the supermarket, which is like the big, like sort of like hourglass looking one. This is a longer, this eggplant's longer. It's a little lighter in shade of purple, and I like it more. So that's just me covering this. And I'm gonna move this over so that I can, moving this over, oops, here we go, so I can really get this going. My favorite pan ever. I use it on my grill. I use it with my grill, but it works on the stovetop. You can use it. I'm gonna see if I can move this view. Oopsie. Oh my god. Okay. Nice. Yeah, this is like the best pan on the planet, in my opinion. That's just me. Checking on everything because it smells like something's really cooking, and it is, which we love. Okay, I'm gonna turn this on. It's already on lightly to get the pan heated. I'm gonna put a bunch of avocado oil on here because we're cooking it. Oh my god, that's real time, my big Oh my gosh, you guys, that is such real time. That is so insane. And I have windows open, mind you. That was crazy. Okay, let's get back to it. Okay, we are going to grill, I put in quotes here, you know, the zucchini and the eggplant. So this is what I would do if I was going outside upstairs to my grill, but we're just going over here. But I'm still gonna do all this. So just to bring it all over here. Whoop. This, I'm gonna bring it over here. And beforehand, just to make our lives so much simpler, I'm gonna mix up the olive oil and the za'atar that I'm gonna be brushing on the veggies. So here, mix it up. I'm gonna put a whole, I love za'atar, it's my favorite. So I'm putting a whole bunch of it in here. I'm gonna put some salt in. It's gonna release water, just FYI. So if you are nervous about having overly watered vegetables, which I can totally understand and relate to, then, you know, just don't add so much salt in here and add your salt after. Or salt before and remove the moisture as we have in previous sessions. That will also totally get rid of that added moisture. Okay, got our brush. I'm gonna just throw some of these on here. Get it going. And this will reduce like a lot. I feel like I'm back on my grill. I really miss my grill. But I'm gonna put this on here. I did not. How ugly is that? It's okay though. We're not about, it doesn't have to be so aesthetically perfect. We are about just making things taste good. And then I'm gonna brush on I'm brushing this on here. On each slice of eggplant. Get that nice flavor going. There we go. And then there's this, and then we can turn this over just because this is already brushed up, so get it going. Get that flavor really involved in the eggplant. And we're gonna do the same treatment to the zucchini, but we're gonna work with some eggplant first. It smells good and salmony in here. I'm sure it does in your kitchen if you're doing this live with me, or it will, but that's fine. We knew what we were doing. Okay, I'm gonna brush the other side as well. So that's rocking and rolling. You could also just as easily pour it into the bowl of sliced veggies and do this beforehand. I just find this a bit easier so that you're not like getting this some really soppy veggies. I'm gonna put a little more here, some dry spots. And honestly, these really need about like 4 minutes of each side. But you can, assess the whatever level of charredness you like. Charredness. That's a new word for me. Okay. Keep going. I think quinoa is really cooking too. While that's going, I'm just gonna show you. I have all these veggies. Oh, the timer's gone. Okay. Timer, let's check on all of our stuff. Okay, salmon is ready. I knew it. I knew it from the smell. Okay, that salmon is beyond cooked. Like, not in a bad way, it's just cooked. It has such a perfect, yummy, coloring on it, and I love that. That's fabulous. We love. Okay, and then this over here. And then, chickpeas are absolutely perfect. Check that out. Fabulous. We love that so much. And then you know what? Hold on a second. The chickpeas I'm gonna put in something else so they cool down, but I'll do that in a minute. Last thing is the chicken's doing really well. You could flip it over and cook it on the other side as well. That wouldn't be a big deal if you wanted to do that. I actually think I may do that just to give it some extra time on one other side. I'll probably just put it in for another minute or two, the chicken. In the meantime, I'm going to put the chickpeas. I'm going to put the chickpeas in a separate little bowl so that they can just cool off and they don't have to, if they stay in this hot pan, obviously they're going to stay warmer, so we don't want that because it's going in a salad. Oh, thank God, I've been talking so much today. Okay. Chickpeas. in here. They're nice and crispy. I think I'm gonna throw out this parchment paper. Parchment paper is so real. I'm gonna wipe off my camera also because I feel like you guys can't see how amazing some of this coloring is on these veggies. Oops. Let's turn this timer off. Okay. And this. The eggplant has certainly gotten its due on time. Oops. So flip it over. It's already charred. Look at that. So nice. Love to see that. I love when the skin gets a nice molten charredness. Also, if you wanted this to cook longer and you're like, I don't want to sit by, or I don't want to stand by the stove and do that, you can ultimately sear it just like we did the chicken and throw your veggies in the oven for probably, I would say like 5-10 minutes too, and that'll be really yummy. Okay, there we go. So we've got salmon that looks so good. We have chicken for another I'm gonna say 1 minute, and then we've got these going. These are I'm gonna show you also. These are the tortillas I'm talking about here, the sprouted corn tortillas, and they're really, really good. I love a sprouted moment. And yeah, they are so not defrosted yet, but it's okay. I'll use them later. The only ingredients in them are sprouted corn, filtered water, sea salt, and lime. Great. The allergen is sesame if you have a sesame allergy, but no preservatives, no yeast, added oils, no baking powder, no flour. We love this. I'm going to throw this back in the fridge. And I'm going to grab a plate so that I can put these vegetables on a plate and cook the zucchini. You can hear the noises out there. Welcome to New York with a lot of beeping. Put these on a plate. Plates. Put these over here. I'm going to take out the chicken. I'm going to turn off the oven, take out the chicken. Oh, you know what? Before I even, look at that. That's like absolutely drop dead. Before I even go ahead with this and do the zucchini, oops, what's it called? The quinoa is ready. Check that out. Here, I'm going to show you. Oh my gosh. Show you what this looks like here. Well, it's all steamy, but that is like perfectly cooked. I can smell it. It smells like nutty and coconutty and all of the yummy things. Miso, I smell it all. This is gonna be like out of control good with this chicken. I guarantee it. Okay. Let's make some zucchini. Just recoating the pan. I don't want anything to stick. And that would be so annoying. So I'm gonna add the zucchini on. Okay. Zucchini battle wounds are not to be feared, but they do happen in this line of work that I'm in. So again, there we go. This brush is my life. I feel like I end up using it every day. so I can smother all my veggies. There we go. Get that coated, and then yet again, here are my tongs, I knew they went somewhere. Same deal, same treatment. One band, one sound. We're gonna do the same thing here. And brush, while that one side's cooking, brush this side here with the za'atar. Yum. Perfect. And it's gonna cook also like for 4 minutes, same deal. Now we're going to, I could use that little hair out moment. Now, since we have our veggies, we're gonna put them to the side. I mean, the other ones are cooking, but in the meantime, we are going to assemble part of the salad. So this is the kale. I'm gonna use kale for this. And then I'm gonna grab a pair of gloves so we can massage it out. You can also use romaine. You can use any kind of lettuce you want. Again, this is like a winter salad in my opinion, so I'm using kale. And then, okay, there we go. I'm gonna use some of my grazza, the drizzle, not the sizzle. Get that nice and coated. And really like get involved here, massage it out. Massaging the kale, first of all, I just like the taste so much more, but it also really helps, it helps it break down in your body. You hear often, or I hear often, that people don't like kale because it's just so rough on their system, which makes sense. Depending on how you're eating it. So honestly, one way to not make it as rough on your system is to massage it, and that means literally kneading, like getting in there, like hits your back, and you want it to be like absolutely massaged out, all your knots out. Treat it like your back. Okay. And then if you massage kale, it's good for like a few days, honestly. You could also put this kale or whatever lettuce in the wrap that you make. I so wish I could assemble the wrap for you right in front of you, but this thing, these wraps are just frozen, so that's funky. But you could also just as easily, take these gloves off, but you could chop in, get a good pair of kitchen scissors, and I'm gonna take the basil that I would assemble that I would use to assemble the wraps. I'm going to chop in some basil. Yum. Perfect. Yummy. Throw in the chickpeas. And what else are we putting in here? Anything? I don't think so, but I'm getting distracted by the fact that there is zucchini to be flipped. I'm gonna quickly flip it. These grilled veggies last for a couple days. You can throw them into like a taco, which I guess is what I'm doing. You could do a wrap, you could eat them on their own. They're really yummy if you want to put them, pair them with your salmon even, or chicken. It's totally up to you. You could make a chicken and grilled veggie wrap and feel like it's summer again. You can do whatever you want to do. I just want to show you the versatility of all of the ingredients that we're using. You could also throw it in some cauliflower rice, or in here in the quinoa. So we rolled that up. We did this. We topped it with God, I can't think. We topped the salad with the chickpeas, and then we're also going to throw in some pickled red onion. I keep all my pickled ingredients together. So this is the pickled red onion, and we've got the pickled cucumbers that we're going to use to make the salmon bowls. So also a yummy thing to put in your salad. That actually sounds delicious in the salad, but we're gonna go with red onion. I'm choosing pickled. You can just simply slice red onion. It doesn't have to be pickled, but I'm gonna do it. So putting a couple pickled red onions in, like so. So delicious. The pickled red onion will also help break down that kale too, because it's pickled. And that's what it does to veggies. It pickles things, it cooks and breaks them down. I would always add them in right before you're going to actually like eat it. Otherwise it gets a little funky. But that is your salad. Again, dressing. 2 weeks ago we made this dressing, so you don't need me to remake it for you. Go check out that recording. We made, God, what else did we make today? We made a lot of things today. The cauliflower rice is in the fridge. We've got our, it smells so good, the pickled cucumber. That's gonna go so nicely with the salmon that we made, which I'm gonna show you again. Oops. Salmon, which this coloring is phenom. And you can roll it in some nori. You can add some bing bing sauce. The way you could do that is add some hot sauce and vegan mayo or regular mayo, whatever you want, Kewpie mayo, together. Put some onion powder in, a little sea salt, and eat it as a bowl. Sounds really good, honestly. And I'm, again, vegan. You have your chicken that you're going to pair with your quinoa. Best way to store this, I always say this, I know every session, I'm such a proponent of a Pyrex. I love Pyrex. I don't work with them at all, I swear. Again, would love to, but I don't. And the best way to store it is Pyrex, all these things, because then you can just throw them in the oven, reheat them, less plastics, etc., etc. I'm gonna let these keep going, but in the meantime, actually after this, I'm gonna eat the salad because it smells good and it looks so good. So if anyone has any questions or anything, let me check. I don't see any questions. You guys are awfully quiet. I need to figure out a way for you to, I feel like everyone's quiet and scared to ask a question. Or if you don't have any questions, that's totally fine. But if you have any, just feel free to reach out to me. I'm gonna let this keep going. Let me turn this down a little bit. So basically, to recap what we made. Oops. Sorry, I'm gonna move. Anything to fall. Okay. It's been 45 minutes. To recap what we made, you can see it going over there. We've got some grilled veggies that we're going to add into a wrap. You could, again, put it in any other dish. We have a full salad. You could literally add this into a wrap if you just wanted a salad wrap. You could also add it in with some chicken. You can eat these things that we made are all so complementary of one another. So, like, eating them together is not, it wouldn't flavor-wise be weird or anything. That's what I make every menu I make every menu with that intention in mind. I really want everything to flow together and be able to be, sort of like mixed together in a way. I'm one of those people who I don't care if my food is touching. We made the salmon. We have some rice, cauliflower rice again in the fridge, pickled cucumber, a whole lot of basil and dill and parsley that I am going to chop and put into a wrap later on. We've got grilled veggies. I think I said that. I am repeating myself. Quinoa. That's it. I hope you guys have the best week. I hope it's just like sunny and beautiful wherever you are. And I really, really hope it's delicious, because food is one of my favorite things on the planet. And if you're here, I feel like you love it too. So I hope you all have a really wonderful week. And let me know if you have any questions. Bye.